Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy LeBron. We back with another video. You see the thumbnail, see what this video's about, so let's get straight into it. So we got BrandonTatum, Officer BrandonTatum. You know what I'm saying? He's a YouTuber, public figure. He does interviews and be on different news channels and whatnot. He has this new video that's saying that Ahmuad Arbery case should end in not guilty verdict. So he's saying that the McMicheals father and son duo should be found not guilty. So I saw this clip. I said, you know what? Let me just watch this with you guys because I didn't want to watch it, and I just want to watch it kind of raw, like to see it in its entirety. So I'm gonna click the link and we'll watch it together. Then I might pause it a few times to give you my thoughts on it, and I just want to see where he came to this conclusion, how that the McMicheals should be found not guilty. Because from what I've seen, I think they should be found guilty. You know what I'm saying? But let's see what he says. Let's get into it.
According to the law, they should be not guilty.
If he killed people,
this video is sponsored by the Ahmuad Tatum store. The Ahmuad Tatum store. Get the merch link in the description section. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live and make a video. Y'all know what to do. Let's get in there. Ahmuad Arbery. I made a video and it blew my channel up last year. I think it was last year. In the case of Ahmuad Arbery, which is the black man that was just jogging, and three white supremacists ran him down and killed him in cold blood. Okay, let's debunk a few things here.
Before we get into that, I did do on my live stream, we did talk about the Ahmuad Arbery case, and it was not the case that it was just a black man jogging and some white supremacists ran him down and shot him. That was not the case. So let's continue.
I made the video. I'll link the video so you can watch the full synopsis. I gave the legal documents and everything else, the law and everything else. But let's debunk a few things. He wasn't just jogging. It wasn't just a matter of a kid walking into a abandoned building and then white guys chasing him everywhere. That's not what happened. You are being deceived if you believe that's what happened, and people have a vested interest to lie to you because they have picked a side based on race. Okay, so this kid had been to this location multiple times. He's on video on multiple occasions, being in this residence, picking up items, dropping off items. He was also accused by the homeowner, English, I think his name is Larry English, which Larry English had lied to the public about. He got on TV and lied about. He was accused and believed that he had stole stuff off of Larry English's boat. That's why Larry English put the video cameras up in his house so he can monitor people coming in and coming out. People are saying, oh man, but there was a whole bunch of people that came in and out. Okay, obviously people have called the police on them. There's been an investigation. There's been police involved. This day, during the day, they caught one of them. It ain't because he's black. It ain't because he's Ahmuad Arbery and black, racist white people. They caught one of them. On the day that Ahmuad Arbery lost his life, he was observed entering the facility. It's on my video. He was entering the facility. A neighbor saw him and called the police.
All right, so far he's saying that he was observed and entering the facility, and the neighbor seen him and called the police. I still don't see how the McMicheals should be found not guilty, but let's continue.
He's going in the house, in and out the house. It wasn't that he was going there to look around and none of that stupid stuff people say. He was going in there with the intent to do something, right? You can see him in there looking around, observing things that he could possibly take. Sometimes what they do, and people that want to be honest about this, they use houses like this as a stash house, or they go and they observe things so they come back later and steal it. Clearly, he went in there looking to buy this house. Once he is observed, the lady across the street yells at him, hey. He takes off running. The McMicheals identified that he was the same guy that they dealt with the other day, who they called the police on, whom they were going to confront. The police showed up. They made a police report about. They recognized it to be him. They believed at the time, according to what they said, they believed at the time that he was attempting to burglarize the residence. Burglary in the state of Georgia is a felony crime. If you believe or have reasonable suspicion to believe someone is committing a felony crime, you can execute a citizen's arrest, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so that's the same thing that B-Love said on my live stream when I had him on about the Ahmuad Arbery case, or the McMicheals case, I should say. I think that's a fact. But you could do a citizen's arrest, not a citizen's execution. But let's continue. Let's see where he goes with this, because we're not done yet. Let's see.
Trespassing is not a felony. Walking on somebody's property, looking around is not a felony. If you believe there was a burglary that occurred, you don't have to prove it. You just have to, a reasonable person would believe, reasonableness, a reasonable belief that he was attempting to steal stuff out of the house, which would be walking on property without permission and taking something of value and trying to flee with it, is a burglary according to Georgia law. Now he's running, they're cornering him. Based on the law, they have a right to conduct a citizen's arrest. In the state of Georgia, you have the right to open carry. So if you're going to carry a gun with you, which you have the right to do, you don't lose your right to carry a firearm because you're conducting a citizen's arrest. You don't lose your right to carry a firearm because the guy that you're trying to catch is black. You still have a right to carry a firearm, just like that guy had a right to carry a firearm. And if you're going to confront somebody and conduct a citizen's arrest, you have a right to carry a firearm in case he starts shooting at you. They try to corner him. I wouldn't do what they did, but I'm looking at it in hindsight. They tried to corner him. They parked down the street. He's running at them. He could have turned around, went the other way. He could have went around him. He could have did any other thing. He's running straight at him. The guy's out of the car now with the gun next to his side. At no point in the video evidence do you see that there is a gun pointed at Ahmuad Arbery. Never, not one time. However, when Ahmuad Arbery goes to run around that truck, he then proceeds to beeline right at the McMicheals' son, the son in this situation, and they begin to fight over the shotgun. While fighting over the shotgun, multiple shots go off. I think one hit Ahmuad in the hand, one of them I think hit him in the chest, and then he ended up subsequently losing his life. The rumors of they ran over him with the car and they were doing all this other stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, there's two scenarios here. Did they have a right? Three scenarios. Did they have a right to conduct a citizen's arrest based on their reasonable belief? I think, it's not up to me because I'm not on the jury, I think they had a reasonable belief that he was committing a burglary, stealing out of the residence, and that they had a right to pursue him.
But do we know that he stole something at the residence? Do we know that, or we just know that he was in the residence? Maybe he could, like you said, maybe he's trespassing. I don't know if we know if he stole anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But if he say that they did, maybe they did. But I don't remember recalling hearing that at all.
If they want to shoot and kill him, they'd have shot him 100 times before they ended up getting down the street where they blocked the street off. So he had to make a decision to either stop or run around him. If they wanted to shoot him, Daddy, who was on the back of the truck, could have shot him. He didn't shoot him. When he's fighting with his son for the gun, Daddy on the back of the truck could have got off the truck and shot and killed him. But he didn't. The only shot happened once Ahmuad Arbery engaged with the younger McMicheals for a gun. So I think that we need to clarify this. You know, it's not in trial whether it was stupid what they did. Many would argue that they wouldn't do what they did, but was it lawful? Was it against the law? And I think that, and y'all got to understand, they weren't even charged at first. They weren't even charged. They weren't going to be charged. And
yeah, I remember that they were not charged at first. They were just saying that, you know, people saying it got swept under the rug, and I think they got charged a year later after this happened. This happened after they got charged after a year.
And then after backlash and outrage and mob mentality, they charged these men. They weren't even going to charge them. And that's because according to the law, they didn't necessarily break the law. Like I said, you can conduct a citizen's arrest if you believe somebody's committing a felony. You don't have to witness it. It can be secondhand information or a reasonable belief that a person did that based on the totality of circumstances. You can open carry. So if you get out the car to confront somebody, you can pull your gun out. As long as you don't point it at them, you can have your gun out. Because in the state of Georgia, you can't carry a shotgun unless you open carry it. So if all you got is a shotgun in your possession and you go to confront somebody, you got the shotgun down at your side, you have a legal right to open carry in that fashion. You don't have a right to point it at people unless the person has provoked you to do so, but you have a right to carry a shotgun next to your side. And if you feel intimidated by a person in Georgia with a gun next to their side, that's your problem. That ain't got nothing to do with the law. And if a man fights you for his gun, for your gun, what do? You defend yourself. So if you ask me, according to the law, I think that the McMicheals would get off because they're not proven proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. That's my opinion. It had nothing to do with black, white, green, or indifferent. It has everything to do with the law. And according to the law, and y'all can watch my other video where I break it down, I show the video and everything. I walk you through step by step, and it actually went viral. So you can go back and look at it if you want to match the video with what I'm saying. But I think there's an articulable fact pattern that would lead them to not be guilty. However, because it's politically charged, I can see them charging them anyway. You know, and it's sad, but that's the way it is. Politically charged situations will cause them to make a political decision based on the jurors. So we'll see what happens. That's my 2 cents about Ahmuad Arbery, the McMicheals case. Y'all comment in the comment section.
That's interesting. That is really interesting. What do y'all think about that? Do y'all think that he has a point? You think he has a point? I mean, if what he's saying is true as far as like the law down here in Georgia, I mean, you could carry a gun in Georgia. Citizen's arrest, I have heard that as well. I didn't know that you could do a citizen's arrest with secondhand information. I didn't know that. That's kind of crazy. So like, say I'm walking down the street, I see a dude like, yo, that dude stole something from me, and I'm just saying that to somebody else, and somebody else getting involved and trying to do a citizen's arrest in that person. That is kind of crazy. I don't know if that's crazy, but wow, he kind of broke it down. I gotta look into what he said, but I just saw the clip. I said, not guilty. Like, is he reaching? Is he, playing towards his audience? But he did have facts. Well, he had statements. I don't know if they're facts or not, but he did have statements about the laws down here in Georgia. He did have another scenario, which I do agree with, that the scenario of him just running down the street and he got mobbed down. I knew that wasn't the case, so he do have a point there as well. And how a lot of times we do glorify and make the story sound worse than what it is, just for media consumption, and that we do that a lot. We starting to do that too often now. And it's kind of getting annoying, to tell you the truth. Like, I'm starting to see like a lot of high profile cases have another backstory to it, and once you see the backstory to it, a lot of it makes more sense. But that's my view on it, though, man. That's my view on it. I want to talk to B Live about this to see what he says about that. I might ask him to come on my live stream and see if we could dissect what he said, because this is pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting what he said. But what's your thoughts on this, man? What's your thoughts about this Officer Tatum video about this? I don't know. I want to look more into it myself. I don't want to give a final verdict, because I don't want to be the one to say, man, no, yo, he this, he that. Man, let me see what else is out there. Let me see what else could be going on. To be honest, like, I'm not that type of person. I want to get my facts straight before I come out and say something. You know what I mean? But this case is politicized. It's racial, and I don't know if we in a position, or we are in a position where the politics of the case and the racial context of a case is now being the verdict of the case. You know what I'm saying? I think that was the case when it came to the George Floyd incident. I don't think he should have got murder one. Like, murder one is like isn't that premeditated murder? Like, you ready to go kill somebody? Like, he woke up that day to think about killing George Floyd. I don't think that was the case. I don't think he should have got off either, but I don't think it's premeditated murder. You know what I mean? But that's just my thoughts on it, man. I do think a lot of cases are heightened and racialized just because it's more entertaining for TV purposes. But that's my thoughts on it, man. I just want to click that video because I saw it and I said, let me see what this is about. And I clicked it. It was pretty interesting. I'm glad I did click it. And I'm glad I did share that with you guys, man. But all right, man. I appreciate your time, man. Leave something in the comments. Until next time, peace.